Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sports and Nerdy. This is literally just I'm going to be on live for about 15, 20 minutes. So apparently Tottenham want to sign Tonali. Tonali, the man who got played signed for Newcastle, then got banned, then came back, then helped us win a trophy, helped us get in Champions League. Apparently wants to go Tottenham. But it's also bearing in mind the same player who wants to go Arsenal, wants to go City, wants to go back to AC Milan. This is crazy. You know what? I'm going to. I need to have something to eat because I've got to have my breakfast. I'm going to invite people. I'm going to have a good friend. You know what? He's a Chelsea fan. He's been through enough last season. Let's bring him on. I'm going to have something to eat while he talks. Patrick,
Hello, big up.
mate, what the actual fuck?
Tottenham
Apparently,
finished 17th and they get to pick Tonali in all this. And then when we're 10th and we don't get the big players that we want,
but apparently, go on.
Unreal.
But apparently, according to Luke Edwards, is it Luke Edwards or Luke Jacobs?
Fabrizio Romano first broke the news, and then Ornstein's now said something, so it's kind of now very much developing. Because if you have Fabrizio and Ornstein talking about it at the same time, you now know it's a cooking deal.
But according to Luke Edwards, it's not a cooking deal. There's been no contact regarding players, and that was 2 hours ago. And Luke Edwards is one of the main guys who does Newcastle news.
Well, I don't want to be offensive to Mr. Edwards here, but he's been very much Eddie Howe and very much on the.
That's true.
I don't want to, he doesn't want to shit on the club because he's part of the Eddie Howe train. So how much does he actually know about the deal? No one knows. So,
the thing is, I'm going to say, Tonali, we've all seen the news. Tonali, City are interested in Tonali. Sorry, one sec. City are interested in Tonali if they can't get Anderson.
Yeah.
Arsenal want Tonali.
Yeah.
AC Milan want Tonali.
Especially the fact that they got Ruben Amorim.
Chelsea wanted Tonali at one point. Why would Tonali, and if he does leave Newcastle, it is what it is. You know my standpoint on Tonali.
Yeah.
I've said it before.
Yeah.
Why would he want to go to Tottenham? Tottenham, bearing in mind, we batter season in, season out.
Same here.
Tottenham, who you batter season on, season out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see it happening. I honestly don't see it happening. Unless his agent's literally coming out and saying all this shit again. Is that situation 2.0?
Well, again, it's basically Tottenham, again, just doing what they always do. They get a new manager, they bring in who they want him to bring in, and then it either goes tits up in January or don't go at all. And the fact that they've still got the two owners, the two people that they brought in that oust Daniel Levy when the fans want them out. I don't know how Tottenham fans are going to do because they've been force-fed a pack of lies. And the fact that they're trying to get Tonali is kind of like, forget where we finished last season. We're going to go all in. Oh, and Sky Sports is just notification on Sky Sports app. Tottenham want to sign Newcastle midfielder Sandro Tonali. So the fact that Dave said it, Fabrizio has said it, Ornstein have said it.
I don't see it happening now, honestly. Bias aside.
I just don't see it because he would arguably want to move to a club that's got Champions League football. He would want that Champions League move. And the fact that he's not got Champions League football with obviously Newcastle, and the fact that Spurs ain't got any European football. They're basically like us. They're going to be, all three of us are going to be entering round 2 of the Carabao Cup. We ain't going to have much time. The World Cup is on as well. Tonali can pretty much have a medical if he wants because Italy are not in the World Cup. So this is, this is... If I was a Tottenham fan, I would say this is the best piece of business for the midfield. Best piece of business. But to be brutally honest, it's all part of Newcastle wanting millions for him. Because think of it, you sold Isak for 100 and somewhat million, didn't you?
125, 30.
There you go. So think of
the thing is,
Newcastle
we sold Isak for 125, 30.
Yeah.
Gordon for 80. We signed Tonali for 55. And we would want at least 100.
Yeah.
I don't see Tottenham buying him for 100 million.
I just don't know because Tottenham are a mixed. Like, to say this, like I said, we said this before. This Premier League season is going to be nuts. It's going to be absolutely nuts because everybody's going to be wanting some piece of the pie. Everybody's going to be wanting some pieces. Arsenal are in no mood to sell. They don't need to sell. Man City don't need to sell. Newcastle may need to sell because, and I said this before. I said this to someone. Eddie Howe is going to be the biggest factor this season for you. Because think of it. If you got rid of Eddie Howe this season, right? Forget the performances. If you sacked Eddie Howe this season, fresh lick of paint, got whoever you wanted in as manager, whether it was Mourinho, whether it was, I don't know, Arne Slot, whether it was Idoli Iraola, one of those managers, they could say to Tonali, it's going to change. We are now going to go fighting for top 4 week in, week out. But the fact that you've got Eddie Howe, who's, let's face it, it's boring now. You can't flip-flop going to St. James's Park, playing a low block, winning games week in, week out at St. James's, then going to, say, Stadium of Light, Old Trafford, Emirates, and then absolutely putting in a dog shit performance and not getting the 3 points, but going back to St. James's, doing it rinse and repeat. That's what Eddie Howe's been doing over the past 4 years.
Yep.
And it's now came to the point where nobody now in that Newcastle team would want to sit there and listen to him say, we'll go again. We'll go again. We'll go again. We'll go again.
Yeah.
And the fact that you have Hall on the brink of leaving, whether it's Chelsea or whether it's Man U, because I think we're definitely going to be back in for him, whatever happens. The fact that you've got Tonali who could leave, Bruno Guimaraes who could leave, you've got Walter Mardo who could leave, because there's all been those rumours. You have Livramento that was rumoured to leave to Manchester City or something ages ago.
Yeah.
The fact that, you could be going back for James Trafford, the fact that Pope wants to go, and the fact that Eddie Howe
wants to go because the youngster people be boring.
The fact that Eddie Howe is the manager, it's not improving. Something's not improving. And the fact that Tottenham, who finished 17th in the Premier League, now won Sandro Tonali, an Italian international that has won a trophy in England, been there, done that in the Champions League. Questions have got to be asked, not only of the sporting directors, not only on the board, but questions on Eddie Howe.
That's the thing. That's the thing I'm going. Let's bring him. We know, good friend of ours. Let's bring in the Arsenal fan.
Oh, why did you have to bring him in, man?
Because we are not talking about Arsenal today, unless it's Tonali news.
Oh,
obviously.
I thought I asked the question. How's the World Cup going on? How is it, Son? Are you doing all well in the World Cup?
Why do you like picking on me, right? Why do you like picking on me? What did I do to you? Why?
You
You don't have to
support
remind me that my
Atletico.
team is not in the World Cup.
This is what happens when you bring in an Arsenal fan, Robert. It's pure chaos.
You know what, Patrick? Yeah, you know what, Patrick? Yeah, you have your laugh, right? But actually, I actually came to speak about Tonali. Really, I actually
No. Let's talk about Tonali, man. I was only making jokes with you, man. Don't worry.
Okay, let me just say this about Tonali, right? When I saw the news, I was shocked too that Newcastle was, was even entertaining Spurs anyway. And even it tells me more. What really shocked me more is the fact that Tonali himself is even considering going to Spurs. It shocks me. It sounds as a shock to me that Tonali could be considering Spurs, or well, maybe because of the manager that is there. According to what I heard from Fabrizio this morning, that Tonali and De Zerbi happen to come from the same part of Italy or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But let's be honest with ourselves. Yes, you're right, Patrick, saying that a lot of people should be questioned, and yes, Eddie Howe, yes, should be questioned because I don't think that's the best Newcastle can get. The board also and the rest. But let's be honest with ourselves too. The way the market goes these days, players, there is no. I can't even tell between players that want what and players want if it's ambition really, or to just make money. I think for me, we don't have to make it too much of a big deal of it because it depends on Tonali. I think it's all about the money for them, and it's not really about wanting to play. So I don't think it has anything to do with Newcastle. I think it has to do with money. Let me tell you something. Newcastle will definitely be fighting tooth and nail to keep Bruno Guimaraes, to keep Tonali and the rest of them, and Watermed. But these guys have shown intent. They've done everything they want to do. They've tried their best, and this player still wants to leave. Why do you think they want to leave? Is it because they want to win a trophy? Now, let's be honest ourselves. Or won't you question Tonali, who is wanting to go to Sport and he's telling you he wants to win a trophy? Does that actually make sense? Be honest. No. Does that actually make sense? Definitely it's about the money. It's about, and football these days. That's the reason why I don't get excited. And to be honest, let me tell you something. To be honest, I saw that there was a time we were linked with Tonali, and I don't want him. And not because he's not a good player. He's a wicked player. He's a very good player. This is not a shade on him as a player. I don't want Tonali. And the reason why I don't want Tonali? I feel like we have the kind of player that represents Tonali. I think I'm expecting us to get someone who is more creative. So Arsenal adding Tonali to Zubomendi and to Declan Rice, it doesn't make sense for me, as it doesn't sit right with me. So I didn't really want him, even though he's a wicked player. But let me tell you something, it's not about the money for these players. And the reason why Tonali is even flirting with Spurs, I'm sure it's about to jack up the money. And if he goes to Spurs, I know it's nothing but for money. So, because I don't see any player who is ambitious and who wants to win something, deciding to leave Newcastle and go to Spurs. Because I can guarantee that even with this current Newcastle manager, I still see Newcastle winning trophy before Tottenham.
But I feel like they've gone to it's the same like Eddie Howe. They've gone too far as they can go with this club. 2 Champions League two Champions League games, league seasons, a Carabao Cup final again. They've gone too far. Eddie Howe has gone too far to push this club forward as further he can go. And last season, finishing below Chelsea, finishing below Sunderland of all teams, finishing below the standards of where they were season in, season out, I just feel like some players are going to go.
Well, of course, Patrick, you're very, very right. A lot of things is wrong at Newcastle. Personally, I think they're better. Like I said before, but when I started my debate, I said I know definitely Newcastle should be expecting better from them. But let's be honest, there is a little bit of politics that we're not considering in this too. Newcastle are kind of caught on the web of they are not able to spend, even though they have money. They can't actually spend on the club the way they should. They can't really get the totality of everything they need. Let me tell you something. The caliber of player they have, yes, they should have won maybe more, yes, but they are trying to break even amongst. Okay, for example, let me tell you last season of all the domestic trophies we have in the English Premier League, who won the majority of them? Manchester City, Arsenal. These two clubs have actually, we have actually both spent a lot to achieve that feat. And let me tell you the fact, we are not the only one who has spent. Chelsea also has spent. Liverpool has spent. We don't
need to say how much we've spent.
So we know everybody spent. And Newcastle are not even able to spend up to this particular amount. Why? Because of FFP, this and that, even though they have the money. So I think that's one of the other reasons that I feel like, as a Newcastle fan, you can also, you have a point there if you are actually angry and worried and frustrated and want to change your manager. But let's be honest. And yes, let me just clear this up also. I'm not saying that Eddie Howe has done good enough, because basically Bournemouth, Sunderland and the rest should not be finishing above Newcastle. That is well affected. So if you want to change the manager, I will understand that stance well. But the truth of the matter, and the fact that I am picking from here, is the fact that Newcastle are still under these shackles, that since they can't actually, express themselves fully in the market, just like Man City did. The only luck that Man City got was that they were able to break through, with all the so-called 115 that they got, they smuggled everything in. Even Chelsea is suffering from it right now. You couldn't, pump all those things in and the rest of them. So for me, that's just that. I don't think it's just all about this person alone. It's not about Newcastle alone. It's about everybody. It's about the whole structure, the whole politics in the football world generally. It's not easy for Newcastle to break even, but that still does not excuse where they finished last season. So if they wanted the out, but I don't see anything wrong with that. But for Sandro Tonali, if he decides to go to Tottenham, it's basically for money. It's not for any other thing. It's not for footballing reason. It's not to improve Tottenham. It's just to get them back. It's just for the back. Nobody can tell. Except if you have anything otherwise. Do you think there's any other reason why he will be leaving and be going to? Yes, no, I don't think so. Robert, do you think Tonali is leaving Newcastle to go and win a trophy at Tottenham?
No. Me personally, and obviously I've spoken about this before with you guys, stuff like that, yeah? If Tonali leaves, obviously if he goes to Chelsea, step up. Patrick Armit, step up if they go to Chelsea. Arsenal, step up. Go to Tottenham, step down.
Like I said, I know he won't go to Chelsea, but if he does under Xabi Alonso, boy.
I'm saying this as well though, yeah? Look at January just gone, yeah? He was linked with Arsenal. Tonali was linked to go Arsenal. And me personally, Arsenal paid £100 million for Declan Rice. Yeah. If I want to, I could say, if I was Newcastle, I would say, sorry about the background sorry about the lighting background. There's nothing I can do. I would personally say to Tottenham, Rice cost £100 million. Give us £100 million for Tonali. If Anderson is going to cost Man City what 130, 140, whatever bloody price Boris wants to charge,
I think the highest Anderson will go for is 120.
I would say give us £100 million for Tonali. We've got 80 million. Somehow we've got £80 million for Gordon. Like Gordon 100, Gordon 80, Tonali 100 million. Livramento, if he leaves, probably 50, 60. Lewis Hall, I spoke about this with I spoke this with Guy. I would want at least 80, 90 million pounds for Lewis Hall. So already, if we sell players, we can then Newcastle being Newcastle, and obviously I heard what you said. We can't do what City did. We can't do what Chelsea did because we're restricted. But if we could do what those guys did, I'm not gonna lie, we would smash the league.
Yeah, but the problem is, and this is massive for Spurs. This is massive for Spurs, massive for Chelsea right now. The fact that Chelsea and Spurs have not got European football this season. We need to either sell or try and sort out our budget, right? The fact that Spurs have not got European football and is ready to spend nearly 80 million on Tonali, 80, 90, whatever Newcastle won, is bonkers. It's bonkers, right? They finished 17th in the Premier League. 17th, and they're trying to go and get Tonali. That's like Chelsea. That's literally Chelsea finishing 12th, which we did, and then signing Caicedo, signing Nkunku, signing Enzo Fernandez when our season was already gone down the pot.
It literally does not make sense. Like it doesn't make any footballing sense at all. Nobody can tell me anything. This doesn't make any football. This trade, in fact, when I saw it, I was shocked because it doesn't make sense to me. As in footballing wise, it doesn't make sense. Why would a Tonali, like someone who is with for, Arsenal wants you, big clubs want you, then you decide to quit them. You just saw what Eberechieze did. It's obvious. Eberechieze just snubbed Spurs and went to Arsenal, and he didn't regret it. And it definitely. I'm still not believing that that's happening. I'm not believing the deal is going to happen. I believe it's just
the thing. I spoke to a Chelsea friend of mine, and he said he can see the Tonali deal happening in Tottenham. I can't. I mean, as I said before, Tottenham.
I don't think it can happen.
If you put Bias aside, Tottenham are a good club. They're a well-supported club, and are a good club. But why would a player of Tonali's caliber want to go to Tottenham? If we were under the Mike Ashley era, granted, go Tottenham because we were shit during that era, relegation twice, stuff like that. Yeah, but why would you want to now go from Newcastle to Tottenham? If it was a Newcastle to Arsenal or Newcastle to Chelsea, I could see it.
No, again, it's just. I think again, it's just because of Eddie Howe. I genuinely think.
I mean, personally, now, and you guys know my opinion. I want Eddie Howe taking as far as he can go. Yes, you got us.
Rob, you've been the biggest flip flop of Eddie Howe for the past 2 years now.
How's it been 2 years?
You played Harry Koki with him. In out, you shake it all
I've been Eddie Howe out since the first Sunderland game. The one that you destroyed me on, Patrick. Don't think I forgot about that.
Walter Marder, the backup hero.
No, you know what, Robert. Yeah. I don't even know the reason why. If I were your shoes, I would actually, treat this as a pinch of salt because basically, I can tell you can guarantee you will finish ahead of Sport next season. Robert, no matter where you finish next season, you can still beat your chest and tell me you will finish above Sport next season.
No, because I would literally get clipped and someone will show someone on a different channel. And
under Eddie Howe, with every other manager changing managers, they're going to finish above Spurs. Think of it, yeah. Think of it. Just think of the managers that have now gone to every other club. Forget Arsenal, they've got Arteta. City, Maresca. Chelsea, Alonso. Liverpool, Iola. Fulham got the Real Madrid coach that just left. You have Maxwell Rose or something for Bournemouth. You have Crystal Palace just got Sage. Everybody around the spectrum of the Premier League had now got rid of old managers and are ready for brand spanking new season with absolute anything could happen, right? You have kept Eddie Howe. He's still going to play his 4-4-2, Brexit football, whatever he wants to play, Haramble, whatever he wants to play with the low block, right? And by the way, that football is toxic. Eddie Howe playing low block like your relegation side, it showed. It showed last season. And the fact that, Arsenal will go into it as favourites. No question they'll go into it as favourites.
Yeah.
But to say that one of our teams could finish above Spurs, I think the only two teams that are realistically on this table right now that can finish above Spurs is me and Solomon. That's it. You, Robert, you'll be lucky to finish above Sunderland again next season.
Do you know what? The only thing that benefits Newcastle this season is playing one game a week. Because when we play one game a week, we do well in domestics.
And us.
We do well in the league. That's it. We
and
do better than Chelsea.
Hold on.
I think one game a week suits us.
You guys are actually missing something here. You're missing something here. Yeah, I get the fact that I get what Patrick is saying, right? Everybody has changed the manager, and we're expecting that we're suddenly assuming that everybody will get better. Let me tell you something, and let me tell you what I've learned with the Premier League. And I might be watching from far away, but definitely what I've learned is a proper market, like season doesn't actually pan out the way we all expect it to be. And even though I'm an Arsenal fan and we are the league champions and we are probably expected to defend it, I just saw Liverpool won the league, did the signing of close to half a billion, and still did not actually retain. In fact, they got worse. So now, using this same logic, I will tell you, the season hasn't kicked off yet. Let me tell you something. Eddie Howe can come up in next season and start smashing things up. You just don't know what will happen. And at the same way, things can go down the drain, right? But let me tell you something. Tottenham got De Zerbi, and we all know, you and I know Tottenham. Tottenham it's not a kind of club that just jumps and upgrades and becomes so good like what they used to be. Well, before Tottenham actually rose to where they are now, before they became, what they became, they were actually battling with relegation, and it takes time. All I'm saying is that this takes time, and the Tottenham squad is in a deeper problems than we are actually assuming. We think, De Zerbi is now in and everything is going to be all rose and rosy. I'm telling you, that's not true. They still have injuries battling with. Their striker is Solanke with, averaging not scoring up to that number of goals. Yes, Waterman struggled for the first season. He wants to leave, yes. But if he stays, he could turn it around next season. He has gotten used to the league. He has now scored more in the league. He knows how to run the league more. And if I'm supposed to put my gamble on who is going to finish higher right now, I will put my gamble on Eddie Howe, who understands the club he is at more than a De Zerbi, who has just gotten to Tottenham, who doesn't know the history of the Tottenham. He doesn't know the history of Tottenham. Eddie Howe actually has been to Newcastle. We know what he can do. We know what he can do at his speed. Like Robert just said, he said, playing one game a week could be an advantage because we've seen it happen before. But Spurs being good next season is not a guarantee. So I can count all my chips, all my eggs, and keep it in Robert's basket of Eddie Howe is playing one game a week, he can work, than for me to put it on the, in the basket of De Zerbi is a good manager and probably it will turn the fortune of Tottenham around. Tottenham at the moment, they are shit.
De Zerbi is a good manager. Let's just not beat around the bush here. He's a good manager. But
of course, yeah.
But something goes on in the second season that De Zerbi is there that completely sabotages his own legacy at a club. You've seen it with Marseille. He brings in players. Everything's rosy in the first season, gets Champions League football. Second season, it's complete sabotage. And then he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
He leaves, and then he goes to Tottenham. Should have been, did not need to be at Tottenham until the summer because that's what Tottenham were doing. They were forcing him to go into it now. And if it weren't for Aston Villa rolling them over, they would have been relegated. They would have been down. But the fact that De Zerbi's there and we're meant to say, oh, yeah, it's all rosy at Tottenham, even though if they do, let's assume they get Tonali. Let's assume they get Tonali today, right? We get the here we go, bombers, etc., right? Where would it leave Tottenham as a whole? Their back line is still in a mess. Their midfield, they've got a man that's come from Leicester, James Maddison, who's injured all the time. He probably will be injured again, let's face it. The forward line is absolute pants. And we're all meant to think De Zerbi is going to be the miracle maker. Yet you have Newcastle that will use that money to try and rebuild if Eddie Howe's staying, so there's no point. Chelsea, that I don't know what we're doing. Arguably, I think don't dwell into the news because we're still in the World Cup. Not only we're still in the World Cup, usually July the 1st is when everybody makes moves.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody will be, either half the teams will be out of the World Cup, or half the teams that need to do what they need to do will do something. You know. Again, the only team that I think does not need to do business, but will do a little bit of business, is Arsenal. You don't need to spend nothing because you can keep that team as it is and go again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but on the other hand, hold on, Patrick. I have issues with that, though, because basically, after the league has been won now, I can actually speak up and be honest about my club. And the truth of the matter is, yes, I am happy that we won the league, but I didn't like the fact that many of our attackers did not actually do enough. And that was, for me, I don't have any single regrets on how we won this previous league. You know, shading things out, scoring from set piece. We just needed to get over the line. Anyway, I saw Saka's interview a couple of days ago. You know, it just feels differently now that they have gotten over the line. Now, you know, they can take more risk and they know that they can actually believe in themselves that they can actually get it right now. So at the moment, I feel we need to get more. Like I was speaking to a friend of mine recently, I said, I would take the whole of United attack ahead of our attack at the moment. Like I will not change anything in our squad. I will just basically leave all our squad the way it is and just change all our attackers and just pick the United attacks. Talk about Cunha, talk about Mbuemo, talk about, you know, those guys can do more. With the chances we create, as in with the, okay, for example, let's take the game against PSG, for example. Let's assume Kai Havertz was a bit clinical. We would have been 2 goals ahead in that game, very early in that game, and the game would have been done because PSG wouldn't have gotten 2 goals in that game. There was no way. So for me, I feel like our attack were bad last season, and maybe that's due to the injury on Saka, the injury on this and that, and then the fact that, you know, the board, and, you know, getting the information that we sacked our club medical whatever recently is not strange to me. It's not new to me because the injury was just, Saka was not playing to his peak. Even Gareth Southgate said it just now that Saka is still not fit enough to play games. And for crying out loud, that was the player we played throughout last season. So one way or the other, I am worried. I still feel we need to, if our attack improves, I don't think the whole negative thing will. I think the whole idea of how we play football will change. Because it's the only reason why everybody thinks we play rugby football and we play only defense and we go for set piece is because the attacks are getting the chances and they're not creating the chances. Like Martin Odegaard of, you know, is it 2015? The one that, you know, that the first season when we competed, the Martin Odegaard I watched is a shadow of the Martin Odegaard I have now. Like I look at Bukayo Saka then. Bukayo Saka was basically taking, you know, defenders on, smashing it left, right, and center. You know, even when I had Gabriel Jesus, when Jesus came in very early, everything was going. I think the challenge was that we never had a balanced defense. But now we have a defense and something like that. So for me, even though I want attack to improve, I want attack to the defense to remain the way it is. But I think we will need to improve our attack. So I'm not going to be surprised if we sell Leandro Trossard and get in someone that can. In fact, I don't mind. Get rid of Leandro Trossard and just go to Madrid, slam 150 million on the table, and get Vinicius as a right winger. Just do that, just for the hype, just for the name, just get it there. We need that name that scares people in the attack, and that's what I feel. We need a Mo Salah. We need someone that can actually that creates fear in players. So. We have a good squad. We have, and our squad is balanced and is settled at the moment. And yeah, we don't need to, but I still want to, because I can't guarantee that because I have to just live on hopes. I need something to change in that attack. The midfield, I'm okay. Defense, I'm all right. The goalkeeper department is fine if that's what we go into this. But you see the attack, I think Saka needs help. I think Gyökeres needs help. And I think one way or the other, somebody needs to get a character. Like, I wouldn't mind if we go to Manchester United and we drop 200 million that we want Bruno Fernandes. I don't care. Just get me someone that will, get the best of your attack. And I think that's why I will not agree with Patrick that we do not need anything. We do need a lot. Because that's the reason why you guys are coming after us that we're playing boring football. It's because we are not taking our chances. In the PSG game, if you had scored 2, you wouldn't have been saying what you're saying, that we had it wouldn't matter with the possession we have. We would have been winning games and been scoring goals. You know we are deadly. So that's just what I have to say. But
I'm going to ask one thing.
It's just the fact that the way that I've seen Arteta over the last few years, 22-23 was almost like the peak time for Arteta. That was some of the best football I've seen Arteta play, right? Even though I was jealous of it. 23-24, you start seeing the little bits of, okay, we're going to play but more conservative football. 24-25 was almost like gun-ho, last chance saloon, everything. This year, it's just the style of football that he's been playing. That's it. And the fact that he needs a new left wing. He probably will need a new left back. But apart from that, there's nothing in that Arsenal team right now to tell me personally that team will not go again. There's nothing in that team that will say to me, oh, do you know that Arsenal team that won the Premier League last year? I don't think they will win it again. They will win it, absolutely. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that Arsenal are going to retain their title.
Even with the inconsistent wingers like Martinelli and Trossard.
That's it. You just need winners.
Not getting goal. Yeah, Martinelli, Trossard, and Odegaard. Even with them not playing good football, with them playing trash, as in with them being not contributing. Martinelli got only a goal throughout this last season. He got only one goal, one goal against City, and after that, nothing. And I played him for the whole of the season. So you think we will get lucky and all our set piece goals will come in again next season? We literally won, being dogged, didn't win. I was counting the number of wins we had with 1-0, 2-0. Yeah, as a fan then I didn't care. I just wanted to win. I won, I was happy. But bro, we went in those games, we scored one and we went ultra defensive. Some games we got over the line by luck. So for me, I still think we need to. Okay, maybe it doesn't need to sell the attack, but it needs to change something in the attack. We now know that the defense is good, the midfield is great, but the attacks needs to play with a little bit of freedom. Something needs to happen, and I believe that needs to happen fast. That's my own opinion. Something needs to change.
I'm going to say like three things before we end it. Me personally, I'm going to ask this. Arsenal, you said you need to get a few players in. Chelsea, I don't know what Chelsea needs. I honestly don't know what Chelsea needs.
Rob, you know what?
They're actually clearing out. Patrick, you know what? Patrick, come on, hold on. Patrick, hold on. Chelsea are Clear Lake, right? You're owned by Clear Lake, right? I think you are just clearing everything. You're clearing Chelsea out.
Solomon, let me tell you what we need. Let me tell you what we need as a Chelsea supporter, right? We need a new left back. We need new sporting directors. We need a new striker. We need a new right winger. We need maybe a new midfield. Yeah? I need the parasitic Danhausen, Mr. Egbadebayi to fuck off. Otherwise, we're going to be cursed. Okay?
Chelsea needs basically everything. Even the new owner.
Robert, you do not need to bring Chelsea into what we need, because I already know what we need. You know what we need. Solomon knows. Yeah? That was just a waste of a question.
The thing is, in my opinion,
we're in the Houses of Parliament. We'll get laughed at right now. Nigel Farage, hello.
The thing is, me personally, Newcastle, we've already put a goalkeeper in the young French goalkeeper. We're linked with Trafford. If we get Trafford in, great, good player. I know I said I wouldn't want him. He's a good player. We're going after Victor Muniz from. I don't know who's from actually.
Victor
Muniz from.
Victor Muniz. Ain't he from La Liga?
Let me have a look. Victor Muniz. Where's he from? La Liga. No, the Osuna one. Oh, no. He's got a. So if we bring him in, he's the Gordon replacement. Great, he's the replacement. Me personally, I want a new centre back because we can't rely on Dan Burn.
Hey, I feel sorry for Osuna, You know,
Yeah,
if you
no,
sign him
that's
for the
all.
35 million euros that you've got,
Yeah.
Real Madrid have got a 50% sell on clause.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting
That's the
fuck
thing.
all.
But apparently, Real Madrid want to insert a clause in the deal between us and them. I don't understand what's going on. I'm not paying attention to that deal. If we get him, great. He's a golden player. Me personally, go on.
Because it's Real
Why do
Madrid.
clubs sign those contracts anyway? Why do you get agreed to give a 50% sell on clause
We're not
on a
they
quality
are.
that you know definitely will sell?
As soon as done it, we
Wow.
haven't. We're just buying the player
That's
from them.
crazy.
Yeah, but no, as soon as selling him and Real Madrid are getting a 50% sell on clause, that's bullshit.
I mean,
that's like
honestly,
I'm sorry. But that's like, I don't know. Let's use Bukayo Saka for a moment. That's like Bukayo Saka moving from Arsenal to say Barcelona, and Arsenal say, and Barcelona say, we'll sell him, but we'll want a 70% sell on clause. Arsenal won't get shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what happened.
Pennies.
So let's assume you sell him for 100 million, right? Let's assume you sell him for 100 million, right? Then they get 70%, you get 30%. Then just give them the player there. Just give them the player. Let them have him. He's still their player anyway.
The left winger we're going for, if we get him, he's a good player. I've checked his stats. He's young. He's the Eddie Howe perfect player. Because he's young and he can just mold in whatever Howe wants. Walter will be fine next season because he's not going to become the Mackham Slayer again. For us anyway. Jesus fucking Christ. And Patrick can't send these reels to me anymore. The dickhead. What is it? I personally want to set another centre back. Bring another centre back in. Me personally, I can see this happening. Go to Arsenal and get Ben White because I can see Newcastle going for Ben White. I'm not gonna lie.
Ooh.
Let me explain the reason why.
This is new.
I think Ben White will move. Ben White will move currently at Arsenal. I'm very, very sure he will move.
Let me explain why I think he'll leave. Let me explain why I think we'll go for Ben White or a player of Ben White. Kieran Trippier's gone Wolves by apparently ripping up his contract. Ben White is like a player similar to Trippier, like the darting balls. Him and his relationship with Saka was amazing. I can see Newcastle going for Ben White. It's mad. I don't know why. Because we do that. Ben White will probably cost what? How much does Ben White cost?
We'll probably need it like a 50 million because he has it will be over 50.
Patrick, I'm always like obviously I'm biased you.
No. Ben White cannot be less than 50 million because we've got him for around that price. And right now, I don't think Arsenal is obliged to sell. So we will try to milk out of it 50 million minimum.
45 plus 5 on add-ons.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Just
if we do that plus
that is 50 million. 45 plus 5 on add-ons.
No, it is. But I personally would go to Arsenal and say we'll give you 40 because of his injury record. That's the thing I'm thinking about. His injury record is similar to Livramento. That's the thing. 40 million. There you go.
Mate, it's only like barely been 24 hours of the market. And we're starting to about £50 million bids for injury players now.
That's the thing. But also, we also see
Did you guys see what's going on in the transfer market? Everybody is pricing their player like 70, 80. Nobody is willing to sell for. Once it's an established player, you talk about 80, talk about 90. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
There's these all these talks,
150 million, 120 million.
There's all these talks of Chelsea wanting to sell Cole Palmer and all these Man United links, right? I'm sorry, 120 million, over 120 million. You think you're going to get him for 80 million or 50 million? No, fuck that. You ain't getting him for that. It's like who? Man United fans think that they have the biggest leverage. They don't.
They don't.
If Man United won Copama, they can't play. I bet you. I can bet this. I can bet with this my life. Man United are not paying a dime below 100. They are not paying a dime below 100 million pounds. There's no way that's happening.
Speaking of Man U, I know we'll probably have to go in a minute, but talk about Manchester United, yeah? Amazon Prime 2027. I'm here, baby. I'm here for it. Get your popcorn, get your sweets. We've already had Manchester City Centurions. We've had Hugo Son and Lloris have a fight. We've had Arteta do the light bulb, guys. This is all do when you do connecting light bulb moment. This is it.
Get your shin pad, people. Get your shin pad and get your breakfast.
Get hydration. Get your light bulbs. Get your work.
You know what? He actually won the league, so I think he gets away with it. He actually won the league, so he gets away with it.
The problem is, if Manchester United don't win nothing, or a slightest slip up against a Champions League team that does not need to be in the Champions League, or a Premier League side that wins at home and gets a dubious red card, it's all there on film for the world to see. And I'm here.
Yeah. The joke is going to be on them. I remember when Arsenal did theirs, the all or nothing Arsenal. It was funny, that was where all this thing came out. And I'm rubbing my palms at the moment, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the video. I'm going to be following them bumper to bumper.
The thing I want them to use, like when they do the all or nothing documentary for Man United, I want them to use KG. I want them to use the United Stand, the United View. Those fan reactions. Please, Amazon, I beg you, use those fan reactions. KG's reaction, honestly, we all see KG's reaction like he's a friend of ours, stuff like that, yeah? I want to see his reaction on there.
Mate, you're gonna have Roy. You do know they're gonna have Roy Keane in it. Manchester United lose 5-0 to Arsenal in an embarrassing defeat. Just a joke.
It's going to be epic.
No, Solomon. Man United lose 5-0, right? And you got Sky Sports' little bit of coverage. It's a joke. It's a joke. Gary Neville, this is Manchester United we're talking about here. And the fact that they're losing 5-0 to these is an embarrassment, an absolute disgrace. Michael Carrick getting sacked during the season. This is it.
I know their so-called claim that they're a big club. They are actually that is going to be publicized in the whole of the UK. United. Their floor is going to be loud. Like it's going to be loud. If anything comes out, it's going to be loud.
It's even dirty as well. The fact that Amazon Prime and Manchester United say the Premier League's most successful club. They ain't been successful since 2013. Are you mad? In that time,
I'm going to end it.
Manchester City win it. Gerrard's slipping on his arse. Newcastle get taken over by the Saudis. Chelsea winning Champions League, Club World Cup, Premier League. Arsenal winning a Premier League. And we're still led to believe that they're the most successful thing yet. 13 league titles. Okay. But during those 13 league titles, you've had Chelsea win it. Arsenal win it. Manchester City winning it. Liverpool winning it.
Leicester
winning it. The most successful team in what? Claiming debts? Is that what it is?
The thing is, I'm going to end it on this as well, yeah? Man United, and I've read this I read this from, Ormsteen or something. I've even probably Luke Edwards. You know that Victor Muniz I just said about?
Yeah.
Man United offered him a contract. He said, yeah, fuck off, see you later. Like, honestly, and we're no longer rejecting FC because we're getting our winger. I've decided. But you know what, Solomon, thanks for joining, honestly. Thanks for joining us from your classroom. I don't know what your classroom was saying.
Thank you so much. Can I pick a bit of this later on YouTube? I probably want to pick a bit of the combo.
Go for it.
Thank you so much.
Patrick, thank you for joining. I would say good luck for next season, guys. But against Chelsea, we always get something. Against Arsenal, I don't want you guys to do well because I've already suffered because of you pricks.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Robert, shut the fuck up, you prick. I ain't being these tracks since fucking 2021. What the fuck you on about?
I'm something
What the fuck you on about? I have been tortured. I have PTSD. I've been through the wars. Yeah, and this twat below me has won the Premier League and been able to beat me at the Emirates at Stamford Bridge. And you're saying, oh yeah, we rarely get anything from Arsenal. Shut the fuck up. What the fuck you on about, bro?
Oh, guys, do you know what? Been a great show.
That's a disgrace. I want an apology.